Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mouthpiece Sports. Now, if you've been paying attention, which I know we have just started, this is our second episode, but the first episode, or the episode, always going to end on the topic, the next topic. And on our last episode, there was the video of the woman saying that women want to be owned. And that's what the topic is today. You guys gonna love this one. I will do a deep dive on this and give a story of what happened on a situation similar to that. I'm Ted King. Here we go.
The reality is that women actually want to be owned. They just don't want to be limited, oppressed, controlled, or seen as less than. And the travesty is, as a society, we've taught women that this is what ownership actually is. When a woman is owned, it's essentially the opposite of the energy of her being astray. And women, to be completely honest with you, do not do well with being stray. So here's the thing about positive ownership. When you take something as a part of you, to the degree that it belongs with you, it actually becomes a part of you to the degree where you can't actually hurt that thing without also hurting yourself too. So positive ownership is really the only way to stay genuinely safe in a relationship, regardless of whether it's between a friend of the same gender or a woman and a man in a primary partnership. If you actually take positive ownership over something, the best interest of that thing is of your utmost concern.
Now, you know what? Very interesting, because here's a woman who says that women want to be owned, but don't want to have things like be told what to do, be demanded to, or not being valued. And which makes a lot of sense to me as far as the value aspect of things, yes. But, the thing is that, when you make a commitment and you have roles, a man says, I'm going to honor and protect you. And, of course, then she says, that I'm going to submit so that you can do that you said that you are going to do for me. And so, you own that aspect of things. And maybe perhaps that's what she's trying to say. Without trying to empower, with some empowerment. And I got a quick story. This is a good story right here. And this only happened, okay? Today's Wednesday. This happened like Friday night, or I should say Saturday morning, because it was after 12. Now I'm in California, and I had to go to a place in California called Vacaville. They had a football game. Now I officiate sports, so that's one of the things that I do and enjoy doing. Keeps me in shape. And I go to the game and do the game, and after the game is over with, of course I leave. It's about, about half hour, 40 minutes away from where I'm at, which is Sacramento, California. And I come back to Sacramento, and make it back there probably about, I would say, it had to be at least, probably about 11 o'clock, 11:15. And so, I go to the store, get something to eat, relax, then, do a few, drive around a little bit. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to check, because I've getting some emails from an individual who has a exercise business. And they send me emails to come, join the exercise classes. And so I said, you know what? I don't have anything better to do. Let me go ahead and find out where this class is at, because I've never been there. And the address that, where it was at, it was on with a street called J Street. I'm driving down J Street, and I look over there. I said, it's got to be over here. Got out the car, walked over to the place. Didn't identify where it was at, but there was a certain area that seemed like this could be it, because the windows were all kind of whitish. You can't really see through it. So, but it looked like it could be something where, because it's a woman's who owns the establishment. And so I said, well, perhaps this is it. And so I started to walk out to the car. Upon walking out to the car, I see there's three men and 2 women. Now the 3 guys are kind of walking with the two two women, and one woman the woman on the left says, "Hey, is there a good bar to go to? I mean, and if it is it that way or is it that way?" And I looked at her and said, "Well, come on, boy, it's like." At the time, it was like 1:30. It seemed like 1:30 in the morning. I don't think you can go to a bar that's open here in Sacramento at 1:30. I said, "Man, maybe you should go to his house." So I pointed to the person who's kind of walking, like, you know, he's leading them to wherever. So obviously he's the point person. And so I spotted that right away. You know, I do see what's going on around me, especially at 1:30 in the morning. And I said, "Go to his house." And he didn't respond. And they said, "Well, the one girl to the right, the female to the right says, well, you know, we're kind of occupied, you know, we're kind of occupied." This one to the left, woman to the left, she said she had a 4-month-old child. I said, "Oh, 4-month-old?" I said, "Well, who's taking care of the baby?" And the woman on the left says, "My mother." And I say, "Well, to the point man and his two other gentlemen, well, take them to Reno because they can go get a drink in Reno." She said, the woman on the right said, "That's too far." So I'm like saying, okay, put all these things together. And I said, "You know what? You two are good friends. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. 3 words. Bam. And here's the 3 words. It's our secret." And they look at each other. And that's when Point Man says, "OG, OG, OG, you're doing too much, OG. You're talking too much, OG." And I said, oh, hold on, man. Hold on, partner. I'm going to walk this way. And then Point Man says, yeah, better. That's what you better do, OG. Wait a minute. Hold on. You know, because, you know, there are certain things, you know, in the animal kingdom. And basically, that's what we are in society, in an animal kingdom. Some places are civil, and some places are not. So, of course, you have to be ready to impose your kingdom, you know, your frame, your male frame. So I said, "Hold on, partner. You're about to get the F knocked out, okay? What you need to do is you need to keep going, okay?" And kind of sort of like that. It went kind of like that. She turned around. When the woman on the right turned around and started, hold it, and started pushing, you know, holding him. She didn't have to hold him, because I said, "Well, come on, man. That's what you want," you know, because I don't like people messing with geriatric people. I know it don't seem like I'm one, and I'm really not, but still, you know, you actually need to understand. You need to respect the OGs, okay? Because there's a reason why I'm, especially me, around so long. There's a reason for that. That's not by accident. So, anyways, what she did was that she tried to, you know, hold him back. And so, what happened at that particular point, which I'm sharing with you all, is that she looked at him with a deficiency, because I didn't stop them. Those 2 ladies stopped me and was talking to me about where they should go. I just let them know I understood them. And those 3 men said it too, because prior to, you know, us talking, you know, other words were said, you know, I mean, casual conversation, you know, nothing disrespectful, just, you know, in terms of, you know, where they wanted to go, etc. But what happened was, what showed is it showed weakness, and women don't want a person. Remember, they were out and about with 3 men protecting them. kind of sort of like an escort because they wanted to go out and do what they wanted to do. They both may or may not have committed relationships, at home. It wasn't clearly said, but of course I said when I said was their friendship and their bond was connected to those three words. It's our secret. You're not going to tell her secrets, and you're not going to tell her secrets. And that's why you two are together. And that's when the young men started to react. So, and that's when they looked at me, or he looked at me and said what he said. But the point is if he was trying to get it'd be a strong figure for the woman, then all he had to do is just say, let them say, well, thank you very much, and we'll try and find a place to go. Yeah, cool. And instead he looked like a weak person. Okay, so, women, of course, they want to have that, like the woman said earlier in the video when it first came on, women aren't very good at being strays, and they're not, because, they're vulnerable as a stray. They're very vulnerable to a lot of different things. And of course, they are very instinctive in terms of, hey, look, I need protection. I want you to, I need that. But today's society, modern day society, it looks like that's not the case. It hasn't changed. It's still the same. Whereas a woman is still, they still doesn't do good being strays. And that's the problem with the society today, them taking on the role of, being able to do everything for themselves, in some aspects. That's still unnatural. And it's an unnatural occurrence for that to happen. So these guys, men need to understand that, okay. And here's another thing, right? There's one thing that, a lot of men make mistakes. They want to take ownership of some things that they can't take ownership of. There's no such thing as I have, there's only ownership that you can take, that you can actually take ownership of is yourself. You can't take ownership of another woman, or because you was with them, you've been with them, maybe intimately, that now belongs. No, that's not true. Listen, you hear a lot of men say, that's my whatever, that's my, vaginal part, okay? You gotta, look like you got a vaginal part to me. Unless you got one of them, then you can't really claim that distinction. You gotta just claim what you got. And what you got, if you're a man, you don't got what she got. So a lot of men have a tendency to think because I'm with it, it's mine. And that's not true either. So, once you understand that, you have a very good position. Your position is very good in the fact that, you can walk away. You can just, you can part from that. You can, okay, I'm going to now keep doing what I need to do, which is to make sure that myself is in order. Okay, it's in order. And he didn't get, if he was trying to get with that woman that night, he didn't do it. He trust and believe. She seen so many holes in his game that she said, no, me and my friend, gonna go back to her mother's house and pick up her baby, and I'm gonna probably go to my man, back to my man, and she gonna go back to her man, and that's it. Because what would have happened if things would have got out of hand? They would have got with somebody who was crazy, and not me. That said, look, man, look, I'm getting ready to go that way. And hold on a second, don't punk me on the way to my car, please, because then I'm gonna have to tell you I'm gonna knock you out, which is what happened. And if she understood, and they understood that, he said, the first thing I said, man, I'm going to my car. Don't want no trouble, man. Listen, I don't want no problem. I'm going to this car. I'm going that way. And then, oh, hold up, partner, because you scared me now. You thinking that I got to watch my back going to my car. And that's when she turned around and started putting her hands on him, moving him away. Well, she's thinking, he ain't protecting me doing that. How is this guy protecting me knowing that we really ain't got nothing going on. I'm just out with the dude because he seemed like he had good sense. Back to whoever I'm with, without no issue. If it would have blowed up, what was you doing out there with them dudes? With that, in that situation. What was you and so? Because I didn't know these two ladies' names. They didn't talk to me because it wasn't like that. And so, these are the things that causes men problems. Wars. Wars have been manifested behind this kind of behavior with men, okay, behind women. And it's biblical, actually. I don't have a Bible in front of me, but I can tell you it's biblical, okay? And so this is an issue, and men should understand that, okay? Women have, in this modern day society, they have privileges. That they can go out there and they can do what they want to do when they want to do it. And how they want to do it, long as what? Nobody tells. Yeah. All right. So, you understand that, right? Okay. I'm Ted King. Thanks for tuning in to another presentation in episode number 2. And stay tuned for number 3, because it's coming your way very soon. Peace out. Have a good one.
Next on Mouthpiece Sport, men are going way overseas to find women. Yes. In other words, they ain't got to get on planes, trains, whatever, to get somewhere to get them a woman. Wow. Next on episode 3 of Mouthpiece Sport.
Topics about women and men and their relationships. And why, these men, I just talked to a friend of mine, and he was talking about how one of our friends went to Egypt to get married. They're going overseas to find a woman. I mean, they're going across the country to find a woman. And mostly it's, these American women are let me say this. You don't have to go halfway across the world to find a woman. You can find a woman right here. You ain't got to go that far. You can go right here in the United States. In fact, right in your backyard and find a woman. You just have to understand that no matter who you are, what the situation is, that you have to be as a man. You have to be a man. You have to keep that man frame. You cannot turn around and act like, you need a woman that bad where you have to go halfway across the world. People do change. But the fact of the matter is that the roles of a man and a woman still is the same. A man wants to, he needs to have his affirmation. Baby, you the best thing I've ever had. Baby, you so sweet. You're wonderful. And a woman, of course, needs to have her validation. Sweetheart, you so pretty. You look good. And ain't been another woman like you. And and that's what they want. That's what people want. Now, there's a certain thing that you can do to, choke that off a little bit to make people yearn for you a little bit more. Like you don't tell a man. To get a good woman, you don't have to go halfway around the world. You get one right here in your backyard. She just has to be, and again, this may sound, I'm going to get some women that ain't going to like this, but she got to be trainable, teachable, and coachable. And if she's trainable, teachable, and coachable, you got her. She's cool. You got you a good one. You got to train, teach, and coach. And she's going to try to do the same thing to you. She's going to try and train, teach, and coach. It's just a matter of will you allow her to do so? Or will you listen to the train, teaching, and coaching that she's given and apply it down the road, not necessarily at that moment, okay? Now, okay, baby, I'll do what you know. You listen. I say, is that what you think? And, you think we assess it, and you implement it somewhere down the road. And that's how you do it. That being said, like, comment, hit that notification bell, subscribe, and share the video. Ted King, I'm out. Your dating guru. I love it.
We'll talk about that some other time.
Now I want to talk about it now. See,
Fred,
another reason
Fred,
why
I said we'll talk about that some other time.
you don't tell me what I can talk about. You don't tell me what I can talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose and I'll point my foot somewhere else.
Video. Ted King, I'm out. Your dating guru. I love it.